Well guys, and it's me again, and I'm back with another bit of Demon Souls. Unfortunately, it seems like my other live stream wasn't broadcasted. In that live stream I was clearing the Prison of Hope boss fight, and thanks to that live stream I managed to clear, well, in that live stream I managed to beat the boss and actually gave a few tips and tricks on how to beat other bosses. Well, I am here in the smithing city or whatever it's called. Can't remember off the top of my mind. And I have completed this area entirely and unlocked smithing grounds. That's the place actually. I've completed this area and unlocked Tunnel City. If you want, I will quickly do a little bit of a guide on how to get 100% of the stuff here done. You see this filthy man, right? He has some decent stuff to be selling, but he does not have that much great gear. However, there's actually a little bit of dialogue here. But if you know the blacksmith at the Nessus, right? If you speak to him, he'll mention an old man in the smithing city at the Stonefang mine an entrance or something like that. What he means is the old man down here. This is actually an elevator, and you've got to pull a lever to get it active. So, like, this is a shortcut here, and all that lot. The lever is there, but I'll show you how to get to that in a little bit. I have completed the area, so I will be doing a bit of a guide bit here. So down here is what the fuck is his name? Blacksmith Ed. Blacksmith Ed is a bit more of a better version than the other blacksmith, the ones that's at the Nessus. Yes. If you speak to him, I've exhausted his dialogue, so he won't say it again. But basically, he says that he can basically use demon swords to make new equipment and weapons, and for you. However, he needs a demon soul of scorching heat. So, you've got to beat the third boss in this area, I believe, or something like that, as I've heard, in order to unlock that capability from him. Either way, let's just get this guide started. So when you spawn in, you'll spawn in down here, and you'll be able to walk up here and see the filthy man. However, to your left, there's also a crystal lizard. If you're quick enough, you can kill that crystal lizard and get some resources from it. Now then, and there are also a few helpful offline messages here. Like, for example, the next enemy is can't say that for the life of me. Basically, the enemies here are weak to thrusting attacks, but are strong against slashing attacks. And they are also weak to magic, so anything that's like magic, or anything like that, good. However, if you use fire and stuff like that, bad. They are heavily immune to fire. As for here, this bit here, right, if you want to get rid of those two annoying little guys up there, right, there's actually a way to do it. If you go to your right here and see this mechanism here, if you press X on it, it will unlock the elevator / shortcut here. Down there is actually an item, the item that allows you to get your physical flesh and stuff like that. Can't really remember the name of it. But anyway, you take this elevator up, and then you end up here. Let's see, where's that item called again? Oh, Stone of Elf. Oh, fucking Christ. Yeah, I can't really pronounce it, so whatever. Basically, you'll get this item and you'll be able to resurrect your body and shit like that and get your full health back. As you can see here, there is a official in there. The officials in this area is constantly cast fireballs, making them a pain in the rear end to deal with. They're weak against thrusting and attacks. Oh, Oh, it's lucky. This official always drops up a full moon grass, which is good for giving you back a lot of health. Also, do you see the spell I have equipped here? It is called Warding, and it's basically a better version of the protection spell, and you can get it after you beat the Tower Knight. You'll get the Tower Knight soul, and it's recommended that you do not consume it at all. Anyway, after you've got the Tower Knight soul, well, keep a hold of it until you clear the Prison of Hope and free the NPC there, or the NPC teacher known as Fraka, or whatever his name is. Anyway, I can't say his name because I suck at pronouncing shit. But either way, once you free that NPC, you'll be able to exchange demon souls with him, a few demon souls, to get better magics and all that lot. The magics that he has is basically elemental weapon, soul arrow, and protection. Or enchant weapon. Basically, the Prison of Hope is the best place for your magic build character. Yeah. And if you want to know where the Prison of Hope is, it's at the third stone on from the left. What's wrong? Why, what's wrong? Well, that's too bad. Anyway, in this area, it's quite easy to parry these guys, but as long as they don't see you as a threat, they won't attack you. Well, these guys minding their own business won't. These guys will leave you alone and won't attack you at all, but you can backstab them to get extra resources and extra souls. However, this area is a bit more of a pain in the rear end. And when you walk in here, you'll see all these little guys and a few barrels over there where that dog came from. However, after you destroy those barrels, there'll be 3 dogs waiting there along with a fat official. The dogs are the biggest pain in the rear end here because of their speed. So it's recommended that you use a shield to block their attacks and then attack them back with your sword. Now that the dogs are taken care of, you now can take care of these guys here. Bastard. These guys are also decent practice as to parrying. Boom. Also, as you can see up there, there's a fat official as well. You see that bridge that connects the... I don't really know what to call that, just fucking point A to point B. If you run halfway through that bridge, you'll trigger it to collapse. And you'll land in that midsection there, which you can use to explore around here and unlock a little system. Or activate a little system, I can't remember exactly. Either way, let's continue forward. The fat officials will not rely on heavily rely on magical attacks, while they themselves don't really use physical attacks. However, once you can trick them into doing a attack against you that you can parry quite easily. So once they use that little fucking rod or whatever they got, you can parry them quite easily. Along these, there's a little hidden enemy back here that will stab you in the back if you're not careful. I quite literally shot myself the first time. He did that to me because I was not expecting it. There's also another one to the right from here. And there's another one to the right of there. For me, I personally prefer to have 2 items on. My short sword and the secret dagger, which you can get from the Prison of Hope. I'll show you guys to it later, or you can view other YouTuber guides on YouTube. There are plenty of other YouTubers that will have guides up for you to find specific items. However, it's preferred that if you want to find and get MP consumables, I'd highly recommend using the Prison of Hope as the farming place for that. As for other things like grasses and stuff like that, the very first area I'd highly recommend and for farming up. As you can see, the left side of the bridge is completely destroyed, hence why you've got to stick to the right side. You can see that corpse there? It'll drop an item. That corpse has an item on it. If you continue around that area, you will actually find a little interactable where you'll turn a... I don't know what the fuck you call it, but basically you'll turn a little thing and it'll spin around, and then it'll cause that massive wheel in the back to activate. And he fell to his death. Here's a little physics for you. The more weight you have, the more pain you'll feel when you fall. So basically, in life, eat healthy and don't be a fat bastard. And if you do have excess weight, and want to improve yourself, strengthen your willpower and do some exercises. It is like, do some easy ones to start off with, then and do some heavier ones. Oh, that's right. So your resolution for 2021 and it is to do exercise, right, Adam? Oh, by the way, if you cannot hear him, I've got a friend in chat. I'm in a party with a friend right now. I'm in the party with a YouTuber called Adam Grows. He's a good friend and all that. It's, as I was saying, and this area down here is very good in some regards because it's still got more of these backstab easy enemies. And it also has special little enemies that are a bit more different. It's best if you look at what's in these guys in time before you kill them, because if you don't want to continue to kill all of these guys because of how little souls they give and how tedious it is, then I recommend you focus on what's in their hands, because some of them carry little sacks and these guys have a load of loot. So if you are aiming for mostly upgrade materials, then kill the guys that have bags in their hands. For example, if you look around here, neither one of these have a bag in their hands, but they still can drop items all the same. It just depends how high your luck stat is. And also, I recommend you get this thing from your burial gift or starting gift. Increases item discovery. It will help you farm up multiple things later on. Let's see, neither one of these have a bag, but I'm just killing them for the sake of clearing out all enemies. There are also 2 different animations. Oh, my friend Adam just asked me how many bosses I've just killed in the game. I've technically, all in all, killed 3 bosses thus. Wait, 3? No, wait, 4. I'm thinking back to it now. The first boss I killed was the Phalanx, which is the first boss in this Demon's Souls campaign. Well, technically not the first boss. As the first one's technically the Asylum Demon, who goes by a different name. However, the boss, known as the Phalanx, he is basically just a massive round of slime creatures that have shields. So you can't attack them from the front, and because as you do little damage, and it's often best if you sidestep or get the big blob monster to walk into a pillar or a wall, so that way the slime monsters drop off and exposing the actual boss. So, like, to put this in a bit more of a realistic look, right? Imagine the boss as a fucking hedgehog or something like that. And, right? Like, all the individual quills on the hedgehog's back will act as a defensive measure against predators and shit like that. But the boss itself, right, it has those slime monsters as... while the boss itself is actually hiding beneath all of them. After you get a few of them to jump off the boss monster itself will be exposed and can't do any attack or defense. So basically in this fight, if you're a melee build, then it's highly recommended that you just run around and keep away from the slime creatures. Or if you want to get some upgrade materials easily, then kill the slime creatures. When you kill those slime creatures, they drop hardstone shards or sharpstone shards. I can't remember which one. Either way, they drop some very useful materials. As for the boss, I'll think about it, Adam. He just asked me if I was thinking about doing a job in commentary. But either way, as I was saying, and while I was fighting the boss, there's actually a 2 shortcut which you can unlock as well in the game. One shortcut you can get from just going... it'll be easier to show you the actual map itself. But either way, in one of these shortcut paths, right, you'll encounter two slime monsters from the actual Phalanx boss fight. You can experiment with them and see which weapons do the most damage against them. However, I've found it easy to get at one to throw its spear at you and attack its shield to force it into an animation where it will try and attack you with its spear slash shield. Spear slash... just basically its spear. By thrusting. I recommend then that you go around to the sides of it and then use it as a thrusting weapon or a slashing weapon to get the most damage off. However, the most effective means would be... I heard ya! Basically, the most effective means of dealing with them is either using firebomb to ignore the shield and actually do a lot of damage, because as the creatures themselves are weak to fire damage and thrusting attacks. While the bot, it's very, very weak to fire damage. If you're a sorcerer build, you'll benefit highly from it. It's because you will spawn in with the spells Water Veil and the fire toss. Fire toss is very effective against most enemies early on. However, later on, say these guys here, these guys have a high immunity to fire damage because they work in the mines. See, come on, attack. It's not easy to parry these ones. That my timing's a little shite at the moment. There we go. There are different animations depending on what you use and what you do with weapons and shit like that. However, if it's quite easy to make an enemy do an extendedly long animation attack. And then you can sidestep around them, walk around them, and get a backstab off that way. Anyway, I'm about to show you the first shortcut. So, as you see, when you get to this section here, right, you kill the enemies here, the ones with flame swords, and then you destroy all these boxes and barrels, and you'll find this little tunnel that has a few enemies working in it. I recommend you deal with these enemies, because sure they may not be non-hostile, but every soul helps. Oops. And after you deal with them, you'll find yourself back outside again. If you look to your right, you'll see the little elevator system I was showing earlier in the video, or earlier in the live stream. This is the actual lever that will help you activate this shortcut. Thus, you'll be having a shortcut at the start of this, and you'll be able to get to the blacksmith without jumping down the hole. Which I do not suggest you do at all, because that means you'd have to lose all your souls up until you get the shortcut unlocked, or B, you get one of those arc zones, and what are they called? Stone shards, and use them to fast travel back to the shrine. Anyway, while you continue on, there's a surprise enemy to your left here, as you can see. Oh wait, if you shove these creatures, it's depending on how you shove them, they could turn around completely. Shove is also a very useful mechanic in this game, because as enemies who have less poise are prone to be shoved about quite effortlessly, which makes them easier to shove, quick step around, and get at the backstab off. It's very hard in Demon Souls to get a two-handed riposte off, because you have to rely on the shield to do the parrying. Then after you get the parry, you're gonna have to use the switch, but there's a little animation in that prevents you from getting the two-handed riposte off. It's very specific timing. Also, when you get to this section here, don't go immediately to the left. There's some 3 loot over there, which each one of them, you'll find items over there, which I've already gotten. And these items include the Great Club, a soul, and something else I can't remember entirely. And this bridge here is actually a destructible bridge, but if you run across it, you'll be able to get the items. So you know how to sprint, and by holding circle or whatever your respective button is for sprinting in this game, or dodging. So I recommend you sprint halfway, then let go, sprint, and do a roll to get across. Also, if you go to the left here, you'll find a load of enemies there. These enemies will destroy you easily, because they have 2 ranged allies at the back. As you can see, there's 6 in total. Wait, no, not 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. About 8, I guess, or 7. I'm not really counting them. Either way, it's easier to go around them. And you can actually sneak around them by going this way. That's it. Hidden behind boxes. Anyway, after you sneak around, you can actually either choose to drop down here, which is not wise. It's because it'll drop you behind this one, and these rear guardsmen back here. Yeah. However, there is an alternative. If you go all the way back here, you'll find 2 items. One up here, and one in here as well behind these boxes. This will cause this enemy to be lured towards you, which will make it easier to take care of him. There was the quick-stop mechanic I was telling you about. Sometimes it's better to do a guard or a failed riposte, because then you can sneak around back and punish the enemies for the failure. Basically, you can turn your failure into a success. Now that's how you deal with all these enemies quite easily. As for the salamander red enemies, right, it's highly recommended that you either use thrusting, or if you have let's see. I'm actually doing an experiment on this stream right now to see which is more effective. Thrusting or blunt damage. Also, I don't recommend you go down here yet unless you're ready. Unless you use the same strat I use to deal with dogs. Block, wait for them to hit you twice, then attack, then back. That's my tactic for dealing with dogs. Anyway, as I was saying, you'll find these salamander enemies blocking your way. These guys, if you're not careful, these guys will deal a lot of damage to you. It seems thrust damage is more preferred against these little bastards than anything else. However, these guys are weak in general. However, if they break your guard, you'll feel all the pain later for it. Best damage, unless it's going against armored enemies, these are enemies who have hard scales. So, it's best if you wait for the animation where these guys do a heavy jump against you, and I've died because I forgot how to bring healing items. Either way, I'll stop the stream here for now because I have some food to deal with. Let's see. Broadcast. Let's see. Broadcast.